I am in a state of elation today because I'm going to teach you a river of A.K. Ramanujan. I think I've been teaching it for more than a dozen years. A river is one of the most famous poems in early post-independence Indian poetry in English. One of the most highly anthologized, one of the most widely prescribed, one of the most extensively studied at school, at college, and at university. I myself had the opportunity to study a river of A.K. Ramanujan at school when I was in my 8th standard. But I don't think I was able to comprehend it at that time the way I am comprehending it now, or at least attempting to comprehend it now. A.K. Ramanujan wrote a river in 1951 when he was living in Madurai, when he was teaching in a college in Madurai. For a brief while, he taught in a college in Madurai. And Madurai, you must remember, is one of the oldest cities in the world. And according to some Tamil scholars, the oldest city in the world. The oldest city in the world. It appears to have been in existence for more than 2,500 years and is mentioned by Megasthenes and Kautilya. Madurai was the seat of the Sangams in the early centuries of the Christian era. Madurai was the capital of the great warrior kings and warrior emperors of the Tamil country. Madurai stands on the banks of the Vaigai, which is one of the holiest rivers of India. The Vaigai is known as the Ganga of the south. In fact, there is even a story which says that the gods brought the Ganga to Madurai. And in Madurai, the Ganga became the Vaigai. Madurai literally means sweet city, is dotted with temples, including the Meenakshi Amman temple and the Aragar Kovil. Madurai is known as Tunga Nagaram, as the city which never sleeps. I would like to foreground a river of Ramanujan against the long tradition of river poetry in the English language. And this is a tradition which includes poems such as Prothalamion of Edmund Spenser, Sonnet to the River Otter of S.T. Coleridge, The Brook of Alfred Lord Tennyson, Heaven of Rupert Brooke, The Dry Salvages of T.S. Eliot, To the River Charles of H. W. Longfellow, and My River Runs to Thee of Emily Dickinson. But Ramanujan's poem is very unlike most of the poems in the tradition of river poems in the English language. Ramanujan does not try to eulogize, to glorify, to deify. Instead, he attempts to de-romanticize and debunk. Let us closely examine the title of the poem. Ramanujan was something of a perfectionist. He was obsessed with the poet's craft. He most certainly chose his titles with extreme care. And when Ramanujan chooses a title for his poem, there is bound to be a set of powerful reasons to justify the selection. What is the title of the poem under consideration? A river. A river. There is no doubt that the present poem has a very innocuous title, a very ordinary title, but there is something extraordinary about it. The ordinariness of the title makes it extraordinary. Ramanujan could have titled the poem under discussion The River or just River or perhaps The Why Guy. Ramanujan refused to do any of these things. Instead, he decided to title the poem A River. The positioning of the article before the word river is very significant. It is an indefinite article. It is part of the poet's efforts to demystify and de-romanticize the river. What is the poet trying to convey through the title? That after all is said and done, the why guy is just a river. The why guy, the Ganga of the south, the holiest of the holy rivers of South India, is, after all is said and done, just a river. You must remember that the poem is the site for a bitter conflict between tradition and anti-tradition. The title throws light on this conflict. You have history, tradition, literature, culture, and society. And this poem throws a powerful challenge at history, tradition, literature, culture, and society. This is a challenge which cannot be easily answered. And by titling the poem A River, by giving such an ordinary title to the poem, the poet succeeds in taking the first step in the process of demystifying, de-romanticizing, and debunking. Please do not think that Ramanujan did not like long titles. I have his collected poems right in front of me, and I'm looking through the contents page of the book, and I find titles like On the Very Possible Jaundice of an Unborn Daughter. The Hindu, he reads his Gita and is calm at all events. Small scale reflections on a great house. And this one from his very last book, which was published posthumously, The Black Hen, Death in Search of a Comfortable Metaphor. Thus, the present poem has a short title, a very innocuous title, a very ordinary title, and the title was deliberately chosen, was very carefully chosen by Ramanujan, and it is certainly the perfect title for the poem.